Former game shop workshop.
You know what? I'm keeping that. That was the first attempt, and that's like, it's on screen. You guys know what we're getting into. So before we get into it, I just want to say that this thread, I know. Okay, guys, look, it's Reddit. I get it, but it's actually a really good thread. I went over and I was like, you know what? This is great. I really enjoy it. And you know, our friend that we were shilling a couple months back, that's doing like Ask Reddit stuff. Well, it was him that sent it to me, so we're going to do a bit of it, and then he's going to go ahead and convert the entire thing, because it's absolutely gigantic, so go ahead and check out his channel, but I don't know if it's going to be posted by the time we post it, so links will be down below anyway. So anyway, look, let's jump into this, will we?
Not many horror stories, but as a part-timer back in the 90s, I only got paid £2 an hour?
Like, I know it was the 90s and all, but like, it is Games Workshop.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Still, I'd probably have just hung out there and not get paid if I didn't have the job. My favourite was the area manager going to visit a nearby store, and some kid walking down the road with the newly released Armies box set, retailed at over £100.
In the 90s, what that? That's like close to £400.
Yeah. The manager says to the kid as he passes by, "You just nicked that then?" As a bit of a joke. And the kid says, "Yeah," and smiles. The manager then walks into the store and congratulates them on the sale, to which they realise that the kid had just walked into the store, picked it up and walked out and no one noticed. Every store in the area had to store them behind the counter from then on.
Oh. You know what? I appreciate his audacity. And
did you nick it? Yeah.
You know, actually, come to think of it, I was reading the other day, apparently, see the pay you get from Games Workshop, absolutely appalling.
Yeah, I would say so.
And you see the, apparently even working in, like, the headquarters and stuff like that, the pay, they treat, it's almost like a cult, apparently, from what I've heard, because they just kind of be like, but you get to work with, like, Warhammer. That's your job. And it's job. Like, you should be thankful that you get this, you know, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure it would actually be kind of cool. But
would it, though, with, like, the overlords looking over you?
Yeah, I suppose. It's kind of like some
Workshop's going to clean this video.
Yeah. There's actually a chance of that. Let's be serious, guys.
I had a friend who worked at one in Toronto. He said Robin Williams came into the store one day in a hurry. My friend said he was jittery and couldn't slow down enough to actually look around the store.
Sounds like he was cooked out of his mind.
Probably.
Or was that just what Robin was like? I couldn't even tell you.
He rushed up to the counter and talked to one of the other guys there and asked how much for one of the painted armies in the case. The guy was starstruck and said, "Oh, sorry, those aren't for sale." Which they aren't for regular people. Robin thanked him and ran out. Later he told the manager this amazing story. The manager was livid that he didn't sell Robin Williams a fully painted army for a few $1,000s.
I mean, you think of the, like, you know, let's be honest with you.
It's Robin Williams, man. If Robin wanted to come and, like, take my house, I'd be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Honestly, though, could you imagine the publicity you could get, especially, say like a commission painter, like, you know, what do you call the guy at the minute? Superman.
Henry Cavill.
Yeah, imagine the publicity you would get, like, say, like, one of those YouTube channels that do all the painting, and they did, like, a commissioned army for
him.
That would be huge. Yeah. That would be absolutely gigantic. Please, Henry Cavill, play 40k with me.
Oh, I just recalled one where we had to ban a kid for nicking a dreadnought. They were metal beasts back then.
They also looked absolutely fucking horrible.
And the squared and blocky design was still new. Kid came in with one day and was showing it off to all the other kids, really excited about it. But we hadn't sold one in weeks, and there was one missing from the shelves. And the one he was showing off was really badly put together, like a real rush job, and covered in the most horrible and basic single colour coat of paint.
That sounds like every child's model from the 90s.
Yeah.
Like that sounds like my models, if I be honest with you.
No.
Yeah, my painting skills gone. Don't even start me.
He was trying to say he got it ages ago, but had never mentioned it previously.
Okay, guys.
I'm sorry.
If you guys could hear like a child shouting in the background,
he's in baby jail at the moment.
Yeah, he's in baby jail.
He's in his playpen next door.
Yeah, and he wouldn't go down for his nap, so it's like, we gotta get something recorded.
Something like, those were always the pride of anyone's collection, and was now suddenly really excited to have one. Eventually he caved and admitted he had taken it. month-long ban straight away. Month-long for nicking it? Well, at least he admitted it.
Yeah,
and he's a kid.
Yeah, you know what? Kids do stupid stuff. You know, you can't really...
You know what was the best thing to steal?
What?
Whenever you went into a shop and had a big pick and mix thing. Pick and mix sweeties. Nobody ever knew. It's like a couple of cola bottles in my pocket.
Hardened criminals.
Bonbons. And my old store manager and one of the other employees had been out in town drinking. They decided to let themselves into the store in order to call a cab home. Or just have somewhere warm to eat their kebab. I can't remember which. At some point, they got into some light-hearted drunken tussle, which suddenly, the manager was body slammed by someone who had come into the store. He was an ex-army and a big lad, so quickly pushed off the intruder, slammed him into the gaming table, grabbed him up by his tie, yep, he was wearing one, and raised his fist, ready to twat him. When the clip-on tie came off in his hand, and he realised the person on the table was a police constable frantically fumbling for either radio or pepper spray. Oh, yeah. Since they were entitled to be there, and the police had pretty much unlawfully entered and assaulted him, they thought the two employees were drunks who had broken in and were fighting in the store. Almost correct. Everyone shook hands, though there was no need to pursue it further, and called it a night.
That's kind of fucking...
That's mad!
Yeah, that's a... Yeah, I've never...
Imagine your manager coming in and be like...
Yeah.
Where do you see this CCTV?
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't... You know, for the Americans, I don't think you understand just how much British culture revolves around drinking kebabs and curries.
And fighting.
You really need to experience
Honest to God,
it.
you go out on a Saturday night and it's like WWE.
I think this applies to almost every, like, seaside town in the UK. It's specifically a seaside town problem, and I cannot... You know what? Just go on Channel 5. just if you can get your hands on any, like, documentary from Channel 5...
Get a VPN and go on Channel 5 and just look up documentaries.
And see what you come across, and that is...
Britain.
Yeah.
I worked at the corporate HQ in Nottingham. Highlights were a shit-covered dildo being found in the woman's toilet.
How does that happen?
At work, my guy, at work.
At work, and you wouldn't even clean up
and
after yourself.
And in Games Workshop HQ, there's women who work there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm more shocked about, not the dildo.
I would love to imagine. I would love to see reports from Games Workshop's HR. I would love to see what's in HR.
Yes.
That would be...
Anybody's getting sacked or leaving, leak them.
That would be the ultimate video series for me.
Yes.
GWHQ HR documents.
Reports, yeah.
Amazing.
A factory worker falling down a chute which dispensed the foam inserts for the blister packs.
I'm going to assume that didn't end like, the Chinese worker that jumped into the forge.
Oh, God.
When he lost all his money in crypto.
A black lad. The way the British just say it, a black lad.
Yeah.
A black lad getting sacked because he smelled a weed. Turned out it was his hair gel.
Poor fella.
Poor guy. My mate getting a blowjob from a cleaner. My mate getting a blowjob from a cleaner during Bugman's free beer afternoon.
I mean, have any of you guys ever seen like cleaners? They're all like dinner ladies, like middle-aged women.
Dinner ladies, they're lunch
yeah, like whenever he describes this, I'm not I don't think this is a pleasant experience.
No.
It's like, yeah, you got your dog something,
mate,
but like,
she sucks like a Dyson.
but at what cost?
The unfolding horror of how little their stuff costs to produce versus how much it's sold for.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. People make it out as if Games Workshop, they pay the designers nothing. Mm-hmm. Like, I can tell you right now, the designers get fuck all. Like, let's just be honest. The price, the cost to actually produce them, okay, yeah, kind of expensive, but really, is it that expensive? Is plastic expensive? Once you have the molds, that's
you're only buying the plastic or the resin or whatever the fuck you use.
I'm going to assume it is like I imagine it's pennies.
Yeah,
it costs to produce each box.
Yeah, the amount of stuff we got for free, we'd buy it through the staff shop and they'd never ring it through.
I would see I think the best way, if you worked for Games Workshop, I think the only way you could actually make it worthwhile is with the staff discount and just have an eBay shop and just
I'm
sell.
surprised they do have a fucking staff discount with how fucking tight they are.
Well, they want you to pretty much spend all your time.
So your money that you're earning goes back
into them again. Yeah, that's from what I've heard anyway.
the Mormon Mafia, which used to run the place.
I've heard
Really?
about this Mormon Mafia, but let's see, do they talk more?
Somebody said, please elaborate on the Mormon Mafia. The Mormon Mafia isn't so much like the Italian mob, so much as it was started as a militia to protect their own interests. These days, they're more like power behind the throne. If they want to get things done, they'll direct the church to sway the masses how they want them voting. Another interesting topic is the Amish Mafia, which is even strong in Mexico. Those guys are actual criminals. What? Essentially, the factory operation was once based in Eastwood, which has a sizable Mormon community. They were a major employer and hey presto, lots of Mormons worked there. After moving from Eastwood to Nottingham, a lot of them remained, but being closer to Nottingham, things were a little more culturally advanced than Eastwood. Essentially, a few key managers were filling posts from back home in Eastwood, so it became extremely cliquey. I left not long after, but it doesn't persist according to my friends still there.
That's interesting. That's good. Like, you know,
Really interesting?
There is Mormons in the UK. Like, normally whenever I think people think of Mormons, they think American, but there is actually quite
a few. There is quite a substantial Mormon community, even in Northern Ireland.
Yeah, Northern Ireland, there's quite a few Mormons. I know that there's a guy in the comments. He's got like a, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he always comments, so he does. So there you go. You got yourself a job, mate. Get yourself in the door. Get yourself a job at Games Workshop. That sound good, yeah?
It'll be like your guy from American Pie. They'll hire you straight away.
Will we keep that?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, do you want to hear something?
Do you want to actually hear something, man?
Right, so this is something that I only came across a wee while back.
I'm mind-blown. Everyone I meet, I tell them this.
Right, okay, so this is kind of insane. So, do you know the guy from American Pie, Jason? I can't remember his
Jason Biggs or something?
So, really big
the main
actor.
guy from American Pie.
Yeah, he was massive from what, like 99 or 98 to like 2004 or 5.
Yeah, and he was in loads of shit.
Yeah, loads of stuff, and he always played like a very stereotypical Jewish character.
Yeah.
Like a Jewish mean little character. Well, do you want to hear the funniest thing? So he goes into Hollywood and he tells them all that I'm Jewish, all this. He's not. He's actually not.
He's full-blown Italian.
He's Italian
His
Catholic.
father's Italian. His mother's Sicilian. And he's Roman Catholic. He told Hollywood
and,
that he was Jewish.
And the second they find out, that's why you don't see him in anything anymore.
You don't see him in any roles?
He got completely blacklisted.
Because they found out he wasn't Jewish.
I don't know, guys, but...
That man knew how to trick Hollywood.
I thought that was absolutely hilarious. But yeah, that's... I don't know if we're going to keep that in the video or not, but...
Uncontrollably based.
Yeah.
So, you guys like models? Yeah?
Yeah, you like models.
Heard you did. Because we have a warehouse sale on now. Well, I don't actually know how long it'll be running for, because... Go quick.
Okay, so pretty much we moved from keeping stock to print to order about a year ago, but I'll just take a picture and show you guys. We have a ton of stuff.
Needs to go. And also £5 pin-up models. Like, £5. Go!
So, pretty much everything's half price, and just go ahead, check out and see what there is, because there's tons of it.
Quick! Every week we're going to be doing a giveaway of the new pin-up model of the month, or if models isn't your thing, all of our homebrew content. If you want to be in with a chance to win the giveaway, all you need to do is subscribe. That's it. Hit the subscribe button. That's it.
Do it now.
But last week's winner was this guy. Well done! Yay! Round of applause. Everybody stands up and claps. But enough of that. Let's get back to the video. I worked as a redshirt for GW in the USA during the mid-2000s. I was pretty young, it was my first job, but damn if I didn't love that discount. 60% on in-store items, 80% on in bits.
That's really good, actually, if I'm being honest with you.
I made quite a few very custom, expensive armies while I worked there. Horror stories. 1. My store was in a mall, so there was quite a bit of traffic through the area. I recall there being a pretty big guy that came in dressed in what seemed to be some gang attire at the time. The mall wasn't in the best area. He seemed off. Way too off. Gang dude has a smirk on his face the whole time as he acts interested in Warhammer Fantasy, and has me run him through an intro game. He's giggling the whole time, like he's hiding something. The guy was very obviously trying to pull something as he was trolling through the intro game. We finish the intro and I brush off the experience. Afterwards, I go back to painting some of the army projects our managers had us working on. Suddenly, I began to smell shit throughout the store.
What?
Really fresh, hot, probably at Taco Bell kind. I walk over to where the gang dude had been standing and see that he had smeared, hopefully, dog crap all over the footrest of the gaming table. I lost a little faith in humanity after that one. I had to clean the crap by myself, as it was a one-man operation for that store on a Friday night.
Gee, what is, I have to wonder about people. What was that story we did about the guy that had, it on the walls and stuff?
He was on fucking ceiling.
Yeah, how does that happen?
I have no idea.
I'm going to assume this guy was dared by his mates. Do you want to go dabble in the nerds or something? I'm going to assume that's...
Gang initiation.
Yeah. Okay, you know what? As far as gang initiations go, that's pretty light. That's pretty,
So horror story number 2. Games Workshop is known to have ex-military employees, and they usually end up working the retail stores as managers.
Yeah, that's one of the things I've came across. A lot of people that... It's really big in the army, so it is 40k.
Well, understandably, I would say.
Yeah, I suppose if you're interested in work, yeah, I can see it.
This was my manager at the time. He was an alright guy, but my god did he have a short temper. He comes into the store, maybe an hour after opening, and goes straight to our back room. He shouts something about the terrain being messy, and how we're fuck-ups with the terrain in the back. I barely hear this, but I can make out what he's yelling from the back of the store. Thank God no customers were in there, because he starts to reorganise the terrain very, very loudly. Why is this my dad?
Yeah, that is.
My dad's ex-military.
Yeah, I can actually, yeah.
By reorganise, I mean throw the ultimate man-baby tantrum. I've never seen a full-grown adult, let alone ex-military, pull a scene of this scale. Manager yanks every piece of terrain down from the shelves, about 2 10-foot walls of shelves, each 10 foot long, so a lot of terrain, and starts throwing them to the other side of the room. He's literally throwing orc fortresses, huts, custom buildings, you name it, he's throwing it. They're starting to pile up as he's reorganising the terrain because we didn't do it right. I'm sure we threw about 70% of the custom terrain in the back because it was smashed beyond recognition. We had to clean up a lot of that mess because he took off from the store not long after. We spent the next few months making new terrain.
What happened there? There has to be more of a story there. He
came in a bad mood, and then he seen something and fucking it annoyed him. It's literally my dad.
Yeah, if any of you guys, I'm sure a lot of you guys have worked, shitty retail or really shitty hospitality jobs I have, and this isn't to me this isn't anything.
No,
I've seen chefs go absolute batshit insane over the the worst thing I ever saw IRL was chefs were arguing, really busy night, and one of the chefs was he was supposed to be crushing garlic with the side of a knife.
Oh, fuck.
And yeah, this is absolutely horrible. This is one of the most brutal things. This is worse than seeing a chef have a heart attack, and you do not want to watch someone have a heart attack because it's really fucking creepy, man. That's all I'm going to say to you. Anyway, so he goes ahead with his hand and he smashes it down on the knife.
On the side of the knife? On
the side of the knife, but the knife flipped as he smashes it down. Cut, and this is a hyper sharp, this is a chef knife.
He still can't.
He got a lot of his feeling back. So anyway, so he slapped his hand down. It bounced. He cut all the tendons in his hand, and I mean, he was off for months upon months, and it was really that's clear. And then you may for the best part of a year, he may as well not have a hand because you can't even do much with it.
Yeah, you had to do a lot of physiotherapy and stuff.
Yeah, because if any of them tendons don't reconnect properly, that's your fingers gone.
I cut my thumb quite badly not long ago, and I still can't feel my thumb. Yeah. It was really fucking deep, and I still can't feel my thumb.
Yeah, so honestly...
imagine what that's like with a fucking hand.
Yeah, your entire hand.
And honestly, you're a chef, you need your fucking hands.
That's clear ending, honestly. But yeah, I'm sure you guys have seen some insane freakouts over, really small things in a lot of jobs, let's be serious.
I had to laugh when maybe a week later his truck's tailgate was stolen. It definitely wasn't right to laugh, but I couldn't stop chuckling at the thought of someone sitting there in a mall parking lot, wrenching out this dweeby truck's tailgate. The karma was perfect. Now for the brighter side. My favourite memory from working at Games Workshop was spending the day hobbying with a very sweet crippled man and making a friend.
Oh, that's nice, actually.
This guy just absolutely loved Lord of the Rings, don't we all? And he couldn't get enough. I don't think he'd ever been into models, let alone heard of Games Workshop, but I could see it in this guy's eyes. He saw the...
Yeah, the elephant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
From Lord of the Rings. The mega elephants. And he was so sold. I ran him through the intro game, but he didn't really need that to sell him. It was the icing on the cake. We proceeded to buy every single Lord of the Rings model that interested him, as well as hobby supplies and the mega paint set. 2 hours later, and we're $600 deep in models and paints, tools and glue. This guy was in heaven, and I was having the time of my life. We proceeded to spend the rest of my shift working on those models together, and I indeed made a friend that day. I was honestly feeling a little guilty because I thought the Lord of the Rings models were overpriced and weren't competitive at all.
Honestly, they're actually really well priced these days because the price hasn't really went up on them, and they're not the most popular, so compared to 40k and it's just like more, they're hyper cheap, I think.
It just didn't feel official compared to 40k or fantasy. It didn't really matter though, because to this day, I remember how elated that guy was to have a person helping him discover a new way to interact with his favourite story. Aww.
That's really sweet.
That's cute.
You know what?
I love that.
You know, that's a perfect place to end it, because, you know what, as much as I shit on Games Workshop, and as much as I don't like their business practices, and they've got so much wrong, I still love 40k, and I think, I say a lot of the time, like, without Lord of the Rings, we wouldn't be doing what we would be doing, but if I'd be completely honest, it would probably be Games Workshop's 40k that wouldn't have brought us to where...
You.
Yeah,
that's why you started. You wanted to show your models off because you couldn't afford them.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll link the video, so I'll some of my earlier stuff. I kind of, the thing was, so me and Megan got a house together, and I was on minimum wage essentially.
So was I. Like, we could barely afford to fill like the fridge of food.
So I was like, right, well, I'm not going to be able to buy any 40k. I'm not going to be able to do that. So what could I do instead? Maybe could I do like a YouTube channel? Could I
talk about my models?
Could I talk about my models? Could I, you know what I mean? Is there something else I could do? And I started a couple projects, like working with like
I thought he was mad cringe, by the way.
Yeah, you did.
So whatever, I couldn't.
Yeah, you did.
It was so cringy.
Well, it wasn't like I was sharing with people that we knew or anything.
Yeah, but you're still putting it on the internet. And
yeah,
it really cringed me. Well,
look, it worked out, so it did anyway. But yeah, honestly, as much as I do shit on Games Workshop, I do still appreciate them for, I do think it's worked out quite nicely.
Yeah.
And, their company policy is horrible, and I'm not going to buy any more 40k models ever again.
Yeah.
But
unless, no, you've got models there if Elsie wants to paint them.
I might, but I had to
you have old models you can...
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we can print them.
Exactly, we can print them. But the Lord of the Rings stuff isn't as popular, and I am getting back into the Lord of the Rings stuff, and I did actually buy the Witch King, and I want to put them together. Actually, I might put them together. No, will we put them together tonight? I'm going to put them together tonight.
We have to build IKEA furniture tonight.
Oh, no! The duality of man. The duality of man. Here, before we forget, talking about models. So, you guys have really been enjoying the model sale?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, honestly, it's been completely...
It's getting rid of a lot of our backstock, and it's giving us space back in our home. Thank you very much.
Which is great. So, we're almost... your stuff should be in the post very soon. The sale is going to be ending next week. So, what date is it today? Today we're recording on the 5th. So, by the 11th of April, I was going to keep it on the entire month of April, but you guys needed it. I didn't expect that at all, so thank you guys very much. It is actually the main reason why we can do what we do, because we can talk our minds and we don't need to worry about monetization and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's honestly the best thing. So
it's
it is
so good. Thank you so much.
But yeah, that's so. If you want,
it lets us get Aussie sweeties.
Get the sweetie band sorted. But yeah, so if you want to make the most of the sale, we still have a week left before I go back. I'm gonna have to rearrange some of the prices though, because you guys know what's happening in the world at the minute, and inflation is insane across everything, and it doesn't just affect, you know what I mean? But I'm going to try and keep it. There's some stuff I'm going to keep at a $5 though.
Yeah, we're going to try and work it out and try and keep it as cheap as we can for you, but obviously, understandably,
stuff is just...
It's going to have to go up.
To a certain extent, but it's not going to go up.
We're going to work it out to where we keep it as cheap as we possibly can to where...
Call us GWT, sure. No, we're not that bad.
As cheap as we possibly can to where, you know, you guys aren't spending a load of money and we still make something of it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Is there anything else? Oh, here, yeah, of course. Before we forget, check out our mate's channel. He's going to be going through this entire thread.
Yeah.
We only scratched the surface on it. There's way more stuff, but I didn't want to, like, steal it all on him because it was him that...
Steal these, no take backs.
Yeah, well, no, it was his... No, but he sent me the thread, so he did. You know what I mean? So I don't want to... Like, you know, it was him that was going to do the video first. He's like, oh, check this out. I was like, you know what, actually, do you want to do something together? You know what I mean? And
so go check them out. Links down below. And while you're down there, once again, check out the links to the website, to the models, subclasses, all that good shit. Hit subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time we post a video. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye!